All right, so this is the first science lesson that you guys are going to be working on online. And our new topic for this unit is called reproduction. So what is reproduction? What does it mean? We're going to talk about that first. So reproduction. The word reproduction can be broken up into different parts, which is like a lot of words. So we're going to break it down in the next slide. So make sure you're going back to your science assignment number 1 document to complete your work because it will be graded. Okay? All right, so reproduction. This word right here is a noun. Okay, reproduction. So it means it's already happened. It's not a verb. If we say reproduce or reproducing, that would make it a verb. But in this case, it's just a noun. So you can go ahead and say it out loud a few times to yourself. Reproduction, reproduction, reproduction. Okay? It's good to practice saying it out loud so you can practice using it. Now on your notes, you can go ahead and pause this video and write down the word twice into your notes so you can practice spelling it. Normally I have students write it down in their notes or in their notebook, but in this case you'll type it into your documents. And make sure you press play when you're ready to move on. Okay, so here we have re. Re. If you think about re, you might have talked about it many times in elementary school. What does that mean? Well, re means again or again and again, right? It's repeating. You could even hear it in the word repeat. Inside of the word reproduction, we have this word right here, produce. Right? Produce means to make or grow. So if you think about in math when we're talking about product, right? The product is the answer to a multiplication problem because it's multiplying, it's getting bigger, it's growing. Okay? So reproduce means to again and again make or grow. Okay? So let's talk about definitions now. The meaning. We have one formal meaning. It's the action or process of making a copy of something. Now, if you guys remember, we talked about cells in the beginning of the year. They can actually reproduce, meaning they'll make the exact same copy of itself. Sometimes it's different, but we'll talk about that later. And number 2, the production. That means to make or grow of offspring by a sexual or asexual process. I misread even what I wrote. So there's sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. Okay, so this is just one word here, and this is just one word over here as well. And we're not going to talk about it yet, but some important things to think about is offspring, sexual, and asexual. Are there any words here that you have never seen before or interested about or have questions about? You can go ahead and pause this video now and play afterwards so that you can make notes into your document in things I have questions about or things I learned. Okay, you don't have to do it now, but now's a good time if you would like to. Now we're going to go on to the next slide. So I'm going to repeat it again and give you some more opportunities and reminders to go ahead and write down what we've gone through in your notes. Okay, so the 2 meanings of reproduction we talked about are 1, the action or process of making a copy of something. 2, the production, which means to make, of offspring by asexual or asexual process. And as we're reading it, it sounds like we're saying the same thing, but keep in mind there is a space here, okay? These are 2 separate words. So what have you learned about reproduction so far? Write it down in your learned section. Are there any vocabulary words here that you do not know or understand? Write it down in the question section in your notes. Okay, so this is your introduction to reproduction notes for lesson 1. We're going to do more in the next few days as well, and hopefully I'll get better at explaining some more information about science, but that's all for today. All right, if you have questions, you can let Mr. Nguyen or myself know and email us. All right, bye-bye.